Hello and welcome to this weekend edition of the Daily Dose of Greek. And today we're going to talk about the complementary infinitive, a very common use of the infinitive, one that we run into quite a bit. Remember what this is where you have a verb, about to, beginning to, wanting to, and it just is not completed until there's an infinitive. This is the Adam for whom it is not good to be alone, and it needs Eve. It needs the infinitive to complement or complete it. I find that many beginning students misspell this. They spell it like this: complementary. Complementary with an I would be like, hey, that's a nice shirt you're wearing, right? That's giving a compliment. But complementary with an E is to complete the idea of. And so these are infinitives that complete the idea of this verb that's starting out the verbal idea. And so we're just going to look at one example of this with the word rχομαι, right? The word rχομαι, to begin, is used with a complementary infinitive 87 times in the New Testament. I'm getting these statistics from a little PDF by Stephen Baugh on moods and tenses in the New Testament. You can get it under the Resources tab on the Daily Dose website. But rχομαι, I am beginning, right? And this is a word that just often needs to be completed, right? I am beginning, and there you are. And then sometimes I have fun with my little fake Scottish accent. I'm just wanting, just willing to, was waiting, right? What's going to finish it out? And we're looking for an infinitive. Usually infinitives end in ein or I, and so we're looking for those to complete the idea. Let's just look at this verse here, Matthew 4:17. Apatate, right? From then on, erxata ha Jesus. Jesus began. That erxata, you can see there's a lengthening of that initial vowel. You can see how a sigma has combined with the chi there. So we have a lengthening of the initial vowel. We have a sigma that's added in. That's going to be an aorist, right? And this is a middle-only verb or middle preference verb. And so that's why we're following middle endings. This is an aorist middle indicative third-person singular. It's third singular because it matches the subject, Jesus. Jesus began, right? Jesus began. And then Jesus began what? Oh, that's a verb that's just asking, just wishing, right? Just wishing to be completed. And it gets two complementary infinitives. Isn't that nice? Two complementary. Jesus began to preach and to say, right? He began to preach and to say. And the verb lego, we're expecting the content of what he's saying. What's he saying? He's saying, repent, for the kingdom of the heavens. We're doing super literal there on the plural. For the kingdom of the heavens, it's fine to say heaven, though. Kingdom of the heavens has drawn near. We're focusing in right now, though, just on understanding how these two complementary infinitives complete the idea of that verb rχομαι, right? They finish out the thought. Without them, we're left hanging. And we might ask ourselves, why do we have a present infinitive for each one of these? Why not an aorist? Is the author intending to convey progressivity in some way, an imperfective aspect? Why? Well, the answer, I think, is really quite easy. Again, if you look at the statistics in Baugh's helpful manuscript, the verb rχομαι, as we mentioned, is followed by a complementary infinitive 87 times. And it's very helpful to know that 87 of those 87 complementary infinitives are present. In other words, there's an extremely strong stylistic pattern of following rχομαι with the present infinitive. So this is what is such a strong default expected tense that we really shouldn't ask why. Only we should ask why if it's not present, right? And I hope that will help you and guard you against over-interpreting some grammatical features in the text, right? We need to know these patterns so we don't over-interpret, but we rightly respect what's just become a strong idiomatic or stylistic feature in the language that's essentially default, and so we don't probe into the nuances that could be intended by that.